This is Kathleen Smith from ClearedJobs.Net, and as you know, ClearedJobs.Net is a veteran-owned company. We have had the honor and privilege to work with many people in the military community over the last 7-8 years. And we have really identified that while we appreciate the service that many of our military personnel have done for us, we realize that they are not taking care of themselves. And we wanted to make this message today available to everyone to say, we at ClearedJobs.Net want everyone to take care of themselves, seek treatment, and seek help because you are very important and valuable to this country. Thank you.
It was a lovely, warm spring night. The family of the bride and the family of the groom had just met, we'd had some dinner, and it was great to meet a lot of new people. One of the guys that was there, an older man, and I talked a little bit. He'd been in Vietnam right about the time that I'd been in Thailand. And later he came out on the back porch where I was sitting enjoying the cool of the evening, and we talked a lot about the many years of his life after Vietnam, the times that he had felt that he should not have been the one that came back alive and his buddy had died, the times that he had gone through wives, families, friends, because he was alcoholic, because he was often very difficult, the difficulties he had had sleeping, and all sorts of other issues that for over 35 years had meant he was often alone. He was often in menial jobs without a lot of potential to go anywhere else. And it was only in the last few years that he had begun finally to get help at a vet center. And that, which his most recent wife had convinced him he should try, had changed his life. He never thought he had PTSD. He never thought anything was unusual. He didn't talk about the war with anybody, other than maybe when he'd had way too many down at the Legion. But he had exhibited all those classic symptoms. Now, I've heard this story a lot. But here I was listening to this man, this old man who, as it turned out, was younger than I am, listening to him talk about those wasted years. I was so glad to hear that he finally had gotten help, thrilled that his wife had been able to convince him to do that, but saddened tremendously at what a loss that had been to this man, to his community, to his family members over all those years. The hardest thing for many of us is to get past the stigma that has been associated with mental illness. If you go back, this exists in every war in our history, that some of the people who are wounded, it's not a visible wound. And yet, we tend to think of this as if you just had willpower, you could overcome this. It's not a matter of willpower. It's a matter of changes in your brain. And so for the families, for the friends who are dealing with a vet who might have some issues, as well as for the vet, the first piece is to be able to realize this is a health issue. This is not an issue of macho, I can do this. This is not an issue of willpower, if only you would do this. It's a health issue, and it needs to be treated as a health issue. The resources that exist are pretty extensive, actually. Army OneSource, Military OneSource provide services You can check them out online, you can call their toll-free numbers, and they will talk to you about what's available and get you referred to the right people. The Veterans Administration runs a lot of vet centers, but all Veteran Administration facilities offer help available to families as well. They run a large number of activities to help people who are having problems and to help those who love the people who are having problems. On the other hand, I had an uncle, a World War II vet, who was a psychiatrist for the VA after the war, who spent his entire career working with the shell shock of World War I guys, the folks from World War II, the folks from Korea. It's not a new problem. It's not something that should carry any form of stigma. But many of us still think, I can do it, I can tough it out, I'm not having real problems, even though those who love us, and we ourselves, if we looked in the mirror, would know we need help.
Hello, my name is John Nixon. I'm one of the co-founders of ClearedJobs.Net. We are a veteran-owned business, and I am a former Marine. Today I'm speaking to you all who have admirably served our country, either in combat or in peacetime. For those of you who may or may not feel that you're suffering from something referred to as PTSD, I would highly recommend to you to take advantage of all the programs that are available to you. You have served our country admirably, as I say, and we all are here to support you. There are many programs out there. Anonymity is ensured. I would highly recommend it to you. I have personally met several Marines who are suffering from PTSD. We've spoken about it at length, and just the conversations that we had Marine to Marine helped them considerably, and of course they had professional support as well. So again, please seek support if you feel that you need it, and even if you don't feel like you need it, it's always a good idea just to look for those types of support programs. Again, thank you for your service, and Semper Fi.